Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be making some more melt and pour. Now I've gone back through some of the videos that I've already made. I want to try and duplicate them but do something a little bit different. So I'm going to put up a photo of the one that I'm going to try and copy that I made ages ago. I'm going to throw a little bit of a spanner into the works. So this is the soap that I'm going to copy. It's going to have walls that go down the side and a bottom, which I'm not quite sure at the moment which color I'm going. You know, I always get to the point where I go, this is the video I'm going to, and then I'm saying, I don't know what colors I'm going to choose to do certain parts. And I sort of work it out as I go along. And I like that because I'm not planning ahead. I'm just trying to work in the moment. So that's that part. I've got the walls and the bottom, and I'll just have to put the mold on the sides as I pour into them. So what I'll do is I'll pour 100 grams in, leave it, and then once that sets, then I'll pour another 100 grams, and then I'll put it on an angle like that on the table, and it will spill out to this edge here. And once that sets, I'll turn it around and I'll do that same thing to the other side. And therefore we have that cavity that's created. Inside the cavity, I'm going to be using the clear base, and I'm going to try and do a nice swirl. The outside base is definitely going to be the goat's milk. I don't know if I'm going to color it or leave it white at this stage. Okay, so for the fragrance, I'm going to be using lime, basil, and mandarin. So for my colors, I'm going to be using yellow, orange, and green. Before I actually start this video, I just want to say thank you to everyone. I'm about 15 subscribers away from hitting 70,000 subscribers, which is just absolutely mind-boggling amazing for someone like myself. I'm still trying to get my head around it. However, I've noticed that a lot of people actually aren't coming back. I figured out this is the reason why. It's because halfway through the creation of my channel, they added a feature which is the bell next to the subscribe button. And I think a lot of people subscribe, but they never press the button. Make sure that you press that bell, because if you don't, you won't get notified that I've got a new video out there. And I think that's what a lot of people didn't press because it didn't exist, and therefore they haven't come back. So if you've subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that bell. Thanks very much. So this should be an interesting one. Let's get started. Okay, so I have 300 grams on the scale here. So I'm just going to add 6 grams of fragrance. Okay, so I'm just going to mix this in. Okay, so for my color, I'm going to be using the lime spider. Just going to go straight in as mica without any rubbing alcohol. I used a fair bit of it because it's goat milk. So this is what I was telling you about last time. You see all those chunks? That's from not adding rubbing alcohol. So it creates like a spotty type look. And that's not too bad in this design because it gives it a little bit of texture. I'll try and sort of mix it in as much as I can, but I don't mind it in this particular design. So I'm just going to spray the top of that, pop all the bubbles. Yep, looks good, smells good too. So I've just popped the mold on top of the scales and set it back to 0. So I'm going to pour the goat's milk as a base, which is 100 grams. So I'll spray that. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that until that sets, and then I'll do each side, and then we can get to the center. Okay, so while this is setting up, I've melted down the remaining 780 grams, and I'm going to add 14 grams to this base. So that gives me a total of 20 grams, which is 2%. So I'm just going to mix this in while this is still setting. This will actually go solid before that's even ready, so I'll have to melt this again. Okay, so I think that's pretty well mixed in. Okay, so I can put that aside. Let's check this. Yeah, that's good. All right, so we're ready to go with that. So I'm just going to use a little tiny piece of wood to rest the mold on when I turn it over, like so. So I'll pour the next 100 grams in there and then just flip it over and then let it set. So set that back to 0. Okay, so I'm going to spray in the mold with some rubbing alcohol, just so it creates a bond between the two. Okay, so it's set back to 0, 100 grams. Hopefully this will work. I'll be able to turn this over. I might need a bigger piece of wood, I don't know. No, should be good. Okay, so it's not coming out, which is great. I'm just going to spray to pop any bubbles, make it a little bit more fluid so it rolls. Once it starts to get bubbles and clump up, it won't come out any further, and I wanted that to be a really smooth surface. All right, so I'm just going to wait for that one to set, and then I'll be back to do the other side. So that side is done. I'm just going to sit it upright. I don't need to measure the last part because I know that there's 100 grams there. So I'm just going to spray. I'm going to spray that again. And then I'm going to put it on its side. And I'm just going to spray it again, just to make sure. Okay, so it's about a finger distance from the top on both sides. So I'm going to let this one set and then I'll be back. Okay, so that has set now. And as you can see, it's in there. So we've got this wall that goes down here, the bottom part, and another wall that comes up here. So we've got kind of like a glass design going at the moment. And what we're going to do is we're going to pour the swirls into the center of here using the other colors. So I might add some white also. So there'll be orange, yellow, and white. Now I've melted down the base already, but it's got a skin and it needs to be remelted. I'm going to remelt this. I've already added the fragrance to it, and then I'll split it up into the colors and we can start pouring. All right, so that's all melted down, and to give you an idea, that is 128, which is 53, and it seems fine, but I don't think it's going to last too long. As you'll notice in one of my other videos, it got down to about 110 and then just seized. So I don't want that to happen this time, but I've got a little bit of working time, so that's okay. I'm going to have to do this quick, so I'm not going to explain everything. I'm going to put this one on, and there is 780, so roughly around about 250 grams for each one, but I don't want, see, here's the thing. I don't want 250 grams of white. I want the white to be like just a little tiny piece. So what we might do is we might put out, no, we'll make it 90. Okay, so there's my 90 grams. And the rest of it would be 700, so 350 each. So this one goes on there, and 350 grams. Okay, so now there's 350 grams in here as well. Fantastic. Okay, so now we've got to add our colors. For the white, I'm going to be adding this liquid titanium dioxide. Good portion of it, because I really want that to be a nice bright white. So that's starting to seize up already, the white. It's already got a skin. You can tell that it's quite clumpy. It's stuck to the skewer. So I'm going to have to remelt that. So I'm just going to put some rubbing alcohol in this little container. And this one too, because I've got two colors. First one is this yellow. And the second one is orange. Okay, so we just mix those in. In it goes. Okay, and this is the yellow. Okay, so I'm just going to mix all that in. And that white has already gone solid. So that's how fast this stuff works when it's in small quantities. So this orange is really nice. It's nice and fluid still. The yellow is still fluid, but the white is completely solid. There's nothing left of that. And it's only because it's such a small amount. So I think I should be able to melt the white and then start pouring. All right, so we've got our colors, white, orange, and yellow. This one, the orange and the yellow are 350 grams each, and this one is 90. So the white is the smallest of the three. Spray all the tops, get all the bubbles off. All right, so here we go. Spray the loaf, make sure everything bonds together. we go. Okay, so that's it for the orange because it's gone solid already. I'll just pour the rest of this yellow in that I can. Okay, so for the moment, that's as full as it's going to get. Okay, so these are, they're set. As you can see, I'm peeling the skin back. So I'm going to melt them down and pour them in over the top. The yellow is the same. Yeah, so it's just one big skin. And the white's the same as well. So yeah, I'm going to melt these back down and then pour them in over the top. Okay, so they're all melted back down. Just going to spray the top. Alright, not sure I'm going to get anything out of this white, but I'll try. Okay. Alright, there's a little bit of white left, but I don't want to ruin that top. That top looks really good to me. Let me see if I can bring this up to you. So that looks pretty good to me. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'll be back in the morning to unmold this and we'll see what the pattern looks like inside. Okay, so it's the next morning and this looks absolutely magical. But don't know what it's going to look like underneath. So here we go. Ta-da! Yeah, weren't expecting much, were you? Oh, yes! Oh, yeah. Oh, if the rest of it's as good as that, I'm in for a treat. That looks pretty good. Okay. I'm going to mark this out, and then I'll start cutting it into bars. Okay, so some of you have actually been asking me how I cut the bars so straight. And most of the time I don't. It's an illusion. But what I like to do is mark these out. So you can see I've just marked them out and they've got tiny little lines. Not sure if you're going to be able to see them or not. There we go. See the line? And that gives me a good indication of where to put the knife and where to cut down. I'm actually standing over the knife, looking straight down when I cut. So, for example, if I put the knife right there, I'm literally, my eyes are going straight down this blade. So I'm not looking on an angle from like over this way or that way. I'm looking straight down. And that allows me to know that the blade is actually going straight down. And that's pretty much it. There's no science to it. Here's the first bar. Ready? Moment of truth. Holy moly. Oh, I nailed that. That's incredible. All right. Let's see what else we got. Oh, it's the same all the way right through. How awesome is that? Ah! I'm almost crying here. I love that. Look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, these swirls came out great. Wow. Okay, so once I've got about 3 bars left, 1, 2, 3, I like to cut the end piece off first. You can cut it off at the beginning if you want, but I like to do this now because if I get to 2 bars, it's hard for me to hold it. So I've got some sort of, like, I'm resting my fingers on here, so I'm stabilizing the knife. And then I can make the cut. Wow, look at that. That looks awesome. Okay, so I've said this before, but the camera just doesn't pick up the detail in these soaps. I'm going to pick this one out in the center here. I'm going to leave photos at the end because these are just absolutely amazing. I'm so surprised that it actually came out like this. I just got it at the right temperatures. And as you know, I've struggled with this for quite some time. But, if you keep persevering and keep trying, then you'll get the results that you want. So I'm extremely happy with this. It smells so good. It's nice and fresh. So they're all nice and flush. Some of them are about 1 mil difference in the cut, so that's not a problem. I'm just so excited that that turned out the way it did. Oh, I got to do this one again. But I think next time I might not do the green around it. I think the green this time adds that lime basil. But if I was to choose a different fragrance, I'd like to do a full loaf, just like the orange and yellow and white. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. It helps with the algorithms and gets more people to view my channel. I believe that I've hit 70,000 subscribers this morning, so thank you so much for everyone who subscribed to my channel. I can't tell you how much your support means to me. It's absolutely fantastic. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below, and thanks for watching.